Going.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Greetings. First of all, I'd just like to say hello. And on behalf of all of the management and the staff, thank you for all of your continued support. Thank you for all the lovely goodies that you provide us with. I know the staff really appreciate it. So today, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I also want to let you know that we're conducting our weekly swabbing. We do it every Tuesday and Wednesday. So Christmas gifts. So if you would indicate when you drop a Christmas gift off, when you would like your loved one to receive it. If there's nothing on the gift indicating when to give it to the resident, we will be keeping them and giving them out on Christmas Day. We've also hired some additional staff to work on Christmas Day to help with the gifts and to also help with window visits. So hopefully we'll be able to meet the needs. I want to bring you up to date on staffing. We've hired one full-time PSW, one part-time resident care assistant, and one part-time RN. Resigned, we've had one dietary staff, one housekeeping staff, one RN, and we have one resident care aide that's dropping down to part-time. So currently we are looking for RNs, PSWs, screeners, resident care assistants, dietary, and housekeeping staff. We do have 4 nursing students that worked with us during the summer, and they're coming back to help us as PSWs during the holidays. So that's going to be a big help to us. Reminding you, window visits. At this point in time, we still don't have a shelter built, but we want you to use the windows at the front of the building where we will make sure the snow is cleared and that it is safe to do so. It is not safe to be going around the building and visiting at windows around the building because we can't clear those areas. So I just want to, actually we'll be talking about it when I address the changes to the visitor policy. I'm going to be talking about screening. So I'm going to just, I'm going to send this to you after the meeting. I'm just going to highlight the changes in the policy, which is 27 pages long. So obviously I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to go to the changes. So we are now able to provide more education to our essential caregivers in terms of infection prevention control. So if you'd like to learn more, please reach out to us. Otherwise, Sheila Driscoll, who is taking that role on, will be approaching you just to give you some more education. Because we're now red, we've decided that we need to go back to having a screener at the table for when people come in. So the screener works from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and then from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So what this means is that essential caregivers, it's very important that you call Amy to set up your visit so we know when you're coming. We need to have the screener at the table doing active screening. We have someone there till 5. Let's just say you call and you say, I'm coming at 4:30, and then you don't show up until after 5. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to let you in the building because we don't have the staff to do the screening. Our staff are currently busy taking care of all of the resident needs. The nurse is giving out medication, there's meal times. So I just ask that you make your appointment and you come at the time you say you will. If for any reason you can't and you have to change that, call us and let us know. We'll try to work around that. But if you just habitually are coming late, we're not going to be able to let you in the building. And I hope you understand the reasons why. There have been changes to who needs to be swabbed before coming into long-term care. The inspectors, specifically the Ministry of Long-Term Care and the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development, and the public health inspectors. Those are 3 inspectors that would come into our home to ensure that we're following governing legislation. Right now, the Ministry of Long-Term Care and the Ministry of Labor inspectors have to be swabbed and have a negative COVID test. It's not the case with public health. I'm not sure why, but those two inspectors, we would now be asking them for proof of a negative COVID swab. And as I mentioned, we've gone from orange to red. It really means very little difference in terms of how we progress here in the home. The only big change is really us having a screener there for everybody coming and going. So just to talk about, because we've been having some difficulty in understanding how you must prove that you've had a negative swab every week, and the fact that you may have gone for the test and not received the results. So I've brought a calendar because this helped me understand it. So you do have to have a test every week. So there's an example in the policy. If your negative test arrives on Sunday, the 6th, oh, sorry. If your negative test arrives on Sunday, the 6th, the visitor will be allowed to visit that Sunday that you received your results up to the Saturday of the following week. So that's actually 14 days. So you're allowed to visit until this date. But it's important that you get tested regularly every week. So if the negative results arrive on Sunday, as I said, the visitor would be allowed to visit that Sunday and up to the Saturday of the following week, unless you've had a test and it's positive. If the negative results arrive on Saturday the 19th, the visitor may visit from that Saturday until the Saturday of the following week. So although you're getting tested every week, you've got this sort of 2-week window. So that's how this is explained in the policy on page 16. So if essential visitors cannot provide proof that they've had a negative test result in the past week and subsequently not tested positive, the only way you're going to be allowed in is as a palliative visitor. As you know, palliative visitors do not need to be swabbed. They're coming in on an emergency basis. And also, if you were coming in on any emergency basis, we wouldn't have to worry about the COVID swab. So I hope that helps you understand it a little better. So as we know, as of December 15th, we are now in the red zone, and all visitors must be accurately screened at the front entrance of the building, as I've said. All proof of a negative COVID test must be communicated in writing on the chart in the caregiver binder. So there's a bit of a chart there that you need to fill in every time you come into the home. The other changes in this policy are in the list of the appendices. There are some new information. Your 4 moments of hand hygiene and when to practice hand hygiene, and then how to hand rub and how to wash your hands poster, along with some links for more information. So those are the changes, the big changes that are to this policy as of December 10th. We received direction from Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit and also in Directive number 3 of long-term care homes that the residents are to wear a non-medical mask if they can tolerate it. So if they are if they are receiving care from a staff person, we have our staff wearing both a mask and a face shield. And if the resident can tolerate it, they are to wear a mask. We will provide the mask. They're not cloth. They look very similar to the medical masks that our staff wear. So we do provide both medical surgical masks and non-medical disposable masks to the residents. So a definition of a medical mask is a surgical mask or an N95 mask. And they're the common types of medical masks that I use. We use the surgical masks. When medical masks should be worn, healthcare workers and others involved in the medical care of individual residents should wear medical masks along with other PPE, which we do. Residents will be encouraged to wear a surgical mask if there was a COVID-19 high-risk exposure. So if the resident was to go out of the home, they would be given a surgical mask. When they come back into the home for readmission, they would wear a surgical mask. If they have to go for blood work within the home, we give them a surgical mask. So the only time that they're wearing a non-surgical mask is if they're getting care or if they're in the dining room and they can't socially distance, and as tolerated. So this information is recorded, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So a non-medical mask is a type of face covering that is worn by the general public, as we all know. Residents' non-medical mask use, as tolerated, includes but is not limited to whenever there is anyone within 2 meters of them in common indoor areas. So residents will be encouraged to wear the masks. The resident's ability to tolerate a mask will be documented in the resident's plan of care. And the most important thing that we tell our residents and our staff, be kind. Some residents are unable to tolerate wearing a mask. And then there is a procedure on how to put on the mask and take off the mask. So that's something that I can send out to you if you're interested in knowing what our policy for using masks is. So I just want to talk very briefly about the vaccine. So we've been getting a lot of information. We've sat in a lot of webinars in terms of the vaccine and the rollout. So there is information available for you. If you go to the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 website, you'll be able to see all the information around vaccines and probably the same information that the ministry is sending us at this moment. So I just wanted to quickly talk about the rollout. We're not exactly sure when we would be getting the vaccines and exactly how that would work. But the rollout, again, and this can be found on the COVID-19 website, talks about the fact that the priority will be residents, employees, and staff, and essential caregivers of congregate living, which is nursing homes, healthcare workers, including those who work in healthcare settings, adults in First Nations, and then adult recipients of chronic home health care. So we're assuming, we were told that RVH will be getting some of the Pfizer vaccines. They have the ability to store them. So again, that's all we've really been told from the public health unit. I'm assuming they will choose homes that maybe have had outbreaks, and they will have some there. They are telling us that when the rollout comes, that we should do it very strategically in terms of how many staff, because if the staff have a negative reaction, it can make you feel like you have COVID, can make you feel sick. Then we may, if we have too many vaccinated at the same time, then we may be short-staffed. So we have to think about that. I believe it will be staff before it is the residents. It'll be very similar when it comes to the resident to what we do with our flu shots. So we would need resident consent and POA consent. The ministry has developed a consent form for the Pfizer vaccine, and we're assuming they will be developing consent forms for the other vaccines as well. There's on the website, there's COVID-19 vaccine approval process and safety. So they've got a lot of information for you to read that is accurate, talks about how the approval process worked, how safe it is. So rather than looking at Mr. Google, I would suggest you go to COVID-19 website and get your information from there. There's another one on COVID-19 about the vaccines. So they're actually putting out quite a bit of information. So that's kind of all we know at the moment until we hear. We are kind of just looking at how we might logistically do that with our staff, but that's all we really know. So really, that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. It was important now that we're in the red zone, that we have the screener, and that you know that the residents are being asked to wear a mask if they can tolerate it. Some do better than others, obviously. And then the changes, the constant changes to the visitor policy at this point in time. And hopefully we don't go into lockdown, because then there'll be more changes. And yeah, we're getting a lot of information thrown at us, and we're trying to disseminate it as quickly as we can. So I will just open it up for questions. If anybody has any questions, we can answer them.
Can we come at 8 o'clock since the screener doesn't start till 9?
Actually, the screener is. So the screener is here until 8, and then I'm not quite sure where she goes from 8 to 9. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. I'll write that down.
Sorry, so the hours that you said that they were here 9 to 12 and then 1 to 5.
Yes.
So people that come before 9, what do they?
No.
That's what she
Oh,
said.
okay. So between 8 and 9, is that what you're asking? That you can come between 8 and 9? I'm sorry, I'm not really. It says, can we come at 8 a.m. since the screener doesn't start till 9 a.m.? And I would have to find out from those who book the screener what happens between 8 and 9, because there is a screener there until 8. And so maybe there's no screener between 8 and 9, and then she starts again at 9. I don't really know. But I will find out, and I will send you an email, because I'm going to email you the new policies. I'll email you a bit of information about the vaccines, so I will get an answer for you. Any other questions?
Got 22 people on.
I would ask, I know over the holidays, and I know, you know, there's actual holidays where we won't have as many staff here, that if you're calling, the nurse is very busy, and, you know, be patient with us in trying to get information to you. I know Amy spends quite a bit of time talking with families, and she'll be taking her staff vacation, so there will be times when we don't have as many staff. So we have some words of, you know, keep up the good work, ladies and staff. Thanks for a great job. Thank you for your encouragement. I will pass that on to the staff. Patricia Campbell, thank you. You're more than welcome. We'll continue to do our best. We're concerned the spread in the community means greater risk to everybody here. And so we keep praying that everybody has a negative swab. So with that, I'll say thank you for.
I'll chime in here just for a second.
Oh, okay. Just before we go, I'll just say thank you. Again, have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Stay safe. And Derek would like to say a few. Derek would like to say a few words. If he doesn't break everything.
Hello, everyone. I know that there's always so much going on, and there's always new information. And it takes a lot of energy and stress to deploy the policies that we're giving. And we also, you know, here at Rumble, we turn up the volume on making sure your loved one is cared for. And we want you to know that. And we want to thank you very much for being a very successful partner in providing the care for your loved ones. So we thank you for that. It's going to be a different kind of Christmas season, so your patience and understanding is appreciated. It goes without mention that we know so many of you keep us in your thoughts and prayers, and that means everything. And we know that we have never forgotten the Reverend Rumble part of who we are, and we know that we are blessed in so many ways, and we are truly thankful for families and family members like yourself. I would like to invite you to join us on next Tuesday night. There'll be a link on the website to our live Christmas celebration where you get to, there's some music, there's some, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, and it'll give you an idea of what other things happen in the world of Rumble. And I'd like you to celebrate, the Christmas season with us during this virtual way. It's a new world, isn't it? I just want to say thank you again. Again, you have questions, you know the people to contact. And again, as I say always, thank you for lending us your loved one, because we truly love them too. Have a great Christmas, and I really do look forward to seeing so many of you in person again. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Blessings, and take care.
Thanks, Derek. To remain COVID-free for all this time is amazing. It's a God-answered prayer, is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.